Just 10 days after a shooter kills officers in Dallas, Texas, 3 more die in a neighboring state, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Shots fired, officer down behind the building.
We have the latest on the shooting.
We are one family, all seeking justice for all of our people.
Leaders from across the country, including here in Kentucky, are asking for unity and healing.
It's been over a year since Trooper Eric Chrisman was killed in the line of duty. Coming up, we'll tell you how his friends and family plan to honor him this September.
This is WKYT News.
It's unjustified, it's unjustifiable. The violence, the hatred just has to stop.
The city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana is still trying to heal from an officer-involved shooting. Now city leaders must deal with another. You're watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Tonight, 3 police officers are dead and 3 others injured in what investigators call an attack on police. Officers in Baton Rouge believe the gunman was the only shooter. They are looking into the possibility he had accomplices. CBS's Don Champion is in Louisiana with our top story.
Cell phone video captured the gun battle between Gavin Long and police in Baton Rouge Sunday.
Shots fired, officer down behind the building and hands down. Unknown where the subject shooting from.
Police say the suspect opened fire at a gas station less than a mile from police headquarters. Officers were responding to a 911 call of a suspicious person walking with a rifle.
An absolutely unspeakable, heinous attack on law enforcement here in Baton Rouge. The violence, the hatred just has to stop.
An eyewitness live streamed the shooting on social media.
This man is shooting at the police. They probably finally just got him. He has a mask on looking like a ninja.
As shots rang out, law enforcement took cover behind their cruisers. Police say 3 officers and the gunman were killed in the shootout. President Obama expressed his condolences and condemned the attack.
Nothing justifies violence against law enforcement. Attacks on police are an attack on all of us.
Tension has escalated following the death of Alton Sterling, a black man killed by white police officers in Baton Rouge nearly 2 weeks ago. Video of his death sparked protests nationwide. Days later, 5 Dallas police officers were killed in an attack. The motive for this latest shooting on police remains unclear. Don Champion, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Shortly after the shooting, a couple of lawmakers and state leaders released statements of solidarity. Governor Matt Bevin tweeted, "Let us all stand united in condemning the evil that is being unleashed on those who are protecting us." And Lexington Mayor Jim Gray weighed in, saying, "I have tremendous respect for the men and women who put their lives on the line to protect our communities here in Kentucky and across the country every single day. We owe them a debt of gratitude and support every day and during these times of increased violence." You can read their full statements right now on WKYT.com. There is still a lot to uncover on the shooting in Baton Rouge, and we will post all updates we get online on WKYT.com and on the WKYT News app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores. Search crews in Georgia have now recovered the bodies of 2 Kentuckians who went missing after a boating accident on Lake Lanier. Divers found the bodies of Anthony Reese and Arthur McMahon early this morning. And the 2 men and their wives were out on the water in a charity poker run when their boat overturned. All 4 died. The Reeses were from Adair County. The McMahons lived in Bullitt County. Investigators still do not know what caused the boat to flip, and they're still trying to determine the boat's speed. We have an update to a murder case out of Taylor County. Campbellsville police have found the stolen truck they've been looking for. They say Rocky Ashby shot and killed a woman early yesterday morning and then stole a red pickup truck. They arrested Ashby last night in Shelby County. They found the truck today. Police say they also recovered a lawnmower and tools that were inside the truck. Police in Montgomery County have arrested a man wanted for a couple of early morning robberies. Mount Sterling police say 32-year-old Bradley Cornwell from Paris turned himself in this afternoon. He's charged with 2 counts of robbery. Police say Cornwell robbed the Crystal Shell gas station on US 460 around 12:45 this morning. Then a few hours later, they say he robbed the Speedway, also on US 460. Family of a Nicholasville man killed last month joined his co-workers today in an event to keep his memory alive. Jeremy Hampton died back in June in a crash on US 27. The 30-year-old worked at Lucky's Auto Sports on New Circle Road. Lucky's marketing director, Nate Eldridge, helped plan an event for him. He combined Hampton's favorite activities, starting at the shop and ending at Shiloh Park.
What we really want to do today is honor him in the best way possible. And one of the really neat things about the car community and the motorcycle community is when something happens within our communities, we all bond together.
Eldridge says as long as there is a need, they will continue to raise money for Hampton's family. It is a steamy but dry end to the weekend. We are tracking storms moving back in tomorrow. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell takes a look at the workweek forecast.
Yeah, a lot of things will start to change for us because we will be tracking those thunderstorms Monday into Tuesday. But the heat, that's something that's going to hang around. So that's something very familiar. Here's what we've got outside. Clouds hanging out here in Lexington with our temperature coming in at 88 degrees with a feels like, though, of 92. So that's what it'll feel like, of course, if you walk outside. Winds are kicking in here out of the southwest at around 7 miles per hour. Pretty common to find those upper 80s, low 90s across Kentucky. You got 89 down the road into London, 90 out toward Fort Knox, and even warmer out in western sections of the Commonwealth. Throw in the humidity everywhere, and you can see that most of us end up with a feels like temperature in the 90s, triple digits showing up out into Owensboro. Here's what we've got on our Defender radar network. Things are quiet right now, but as we progress through the rest of the evening and especially into the day tomorrow, watch this cloud start to increase, and we'll even start talking about some thunderstorm chances as we get into your Monday. We'll start the morning off in the upper 60s, low 70s. Those showers and storms arrive with more heat tomorrow, though. We'll break it all down a little more in detail coming up in just a few minutes.
Friends of a state trooper killed last year are planning a race in his memory. Trooper Eric Chrisman was on his way out to a wreck when he died in a crash. Chrisman was from Anderson County, and friends there have found a way to keep his generous spirit alive. WKYT's Mike Linden is talking to them.
A little over a year ago, Kentucky State Police Trooper Eric Chrisman was killed when his cruiser collided with a tractor trailer. Now his family and friends plan to honor him with a memorial 5K coming this September. In June of 2015, 23-year-old Trooper Eric Chrisman died in the line of duty. To honor his life, his friends and family have organized a 5K walk and run event this September. Organizers say the proceeds from the event will go to Trooper Island and to a scholarship fund set up in Chrisman's name through his high school alma mater, the Christian Academy of Lawrenceburg. Race organizers say with the money they raise from the 5K, they aim to help students, just like Eric would have wanted.
Eric was a graduate of Western Kentucky, and he was very proud of that, and that college degree meant a lot to him, and so this will help somebody here at Cal reach that same goal.
Registration for the race is open, and if you sign up before August 5th, it costs $30 for adults, $20 for police officers and for kids under the age of 13, and for children under the age of 5, the race is free. In Anderson County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Organizers plan to make the 5K an annual event. Still ahead on WKYT, she spends her workdays answering calls. Why this Central Kentucky woman says one of those calls could change her life.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Here we are, the end of the weekend, and we're all dealing with plenty of heat out there. Temperatures running the upper 80s, low 90s in most locations with no showers or thunderstorms out there, but they're coming. Here's some of the headlines. We likely run into those storm chances early this week. They'll get in here probably into the day tomorrow with a frontal boundary dropping in on us and enhancing those chances. Some of those could be a little on the strong side, but those 90-degree days are coming, and they are coming with a lot of humidity as well. Not a little bit, a lot as we move forward here. The muggy meter of the next few days, we go on to Monday and Tuesday. It is nearly off the charts. We're talking about dew points in the low 70s. I mean, this is some very uncomfortable air. It's going to fuel those thunderstorms, too, both days. So you might catch a break from the heat by getting under a shower or a thunderstorm. It backs off a little bit, but it's still not at a comfortable level at the end of the week either, or in the middle of the week either. Hour-by-hour heat index. Check out what happens once we get into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Look at that. A lot of mid-90s start showing up around here. That's what you will be exposed to. It's what it'll feel like when you walk outside. And I suspect we might have more triple digits showing up into western Kentucky as well. Out there right now, we're nowhere close. We're at 88 degrees in Lexington, 89 in London, 88 in Richmond. So plenty of heat, just not that kind of heat yet. Showers, thunderstorms lining up as we are now into the warm sector of the system that's been passing by. Warm fronts well off to our north, trailing cold front that will dive in here for tomorrow and bring us those storm chances. It's coming, and as it does, it enhances our threat for maybe even some severe weather. Slight risk to our north, just barely getting into Kentucky. Marginal risk for the rest of us. We'll have to wait and see what this front starts to do and what kind of thunderstorms it fires upstream before we see how this will change. Hour-by-hour forecast through the evening and into the overnight. Showers and storms that were firing off to the north of us, they start to die out. And then we get into the day tomorrow, and you'll watch the thunderstorms develop across southern and eastern Kentucky as that front starts to push in and ignites those chances. Here comes our 7-day forecast. As we look ahead here, you've got storms around both Monday into Tuesday. And we keep going into next week, and we've got a lot more heat. We catch a little break, and by break I mean 87, and then we go right back into the low 90s there, Kristen, into the latter part of the week and into the weekend.
When you say little bit of a break, I guess you're right, 2 days.
It's a little teeny tiny one, yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
A Central Kentucky woman is waiting for a life-changing call. Samantha Liccato needed a new kidney 5 years ago. She recently received one, but a year after surgery, it failed. WKYT's Mike Byer says she's now hoping there's a second that's a match.
Thoroughbred Diesel, this is Sam.
Samantha Liccato is a sales technician for Thoroughbred Diesel in Winchester and knows a thing or two when it comes to helping customers diagnose their truck problems.
The plug that's on the top of the injection pump, let's go ahead and pull that off and hold it so it looks like a smiley face.
Like this one. Samantha's smile can light up a room, but as of late, smiling hasn't been easy.
When I was 20 years old, I found out that I only had one kidney that I was born with. My other one never actually formed.
Turns out Samantha's cousin was able to help. She donated one of her own kidneys back in 2013.
Things went absolutely perfect for almost a year and a half.
But that's when things took a turn.
For whatever reason, it failed in December of 2014.
Doctors couldn't save that kidney. Samantha was back to square one.
Let's check and see what that voltage is.
She went back to work treating truck problems while her coworkers got busy treating her.
I was finally able to come home. I came back to my desk and everything was completely decorated. There were, notes saying, "We miss you, we want you to come back soon."
Samantha spends 8 hours a day answering calls. Now she hopes someone will answer her call.
I've exhausted my close family friends. Now I need to reach out and find help from someone who may not know who I am.
Because she's already had one kidney transplant, finding a second donor is going to be difficult.
At this point, there's a 3% chance that anybody across the nation is going to match me.
She says her best chance at a second chance will be through a donor chain.
If I were to find a suitable donor that says, yes, I will donate on her behalf, we can enter into the chain.
Until she finds her saving grace, the 25-year-old has to do dialysis for 8 hours a day, which makes it hard to live a normal life.
If I get an infection from the lake water, I'm not able to do dialysis. If I can't do dialysis, I can't live anymore.
While she waits, she'll keep answering the customers' calls while she hopes for a life-changing call.
If I get that call, it's probably going to be a once-in-a-lifetime deal. I can't miss it.
In Winchester, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Doctors told Samantha it could take 4 to 6 years to get a second kidney donation. Lee K. Howard's in next with sports, where a Kentuckian had a really good round in the British Open.
Yeah, he did. J.B. Holmes quietly finished in third, but the championship would come down to Phil Mickelson and Henrik Stenson. And Tyler Eulis talks about his game-winning shot on Saturday. We'll hear from him next in sports. Kentucky and J.B. Holmes turned in his best ever finish in a major. The former UK golfer finished third in today's final round of the Open Championship, but many will only remember the epic duel between Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson. The pair entered Sunday's final round a touchdown ahead of the rest of the field. Holmes had 4 birdies in his final round. His worst hole was 15 right here, where he delivers a beautiful chip shot that almost goes in. He would double bogey the hole. Second hole here, this is Phil Mickelson's tough chip shot, and this one almost finds its home, just lips out. He would save par. Stenson birdied, both were at 12 under par. 15th hole, Stenson had the putter going from 51 feet away. Yeah, that birdie right there to move to 18 under par. Then on 18, Stenson with a 2-stroke lead has this putt for birdie. You betcha. Sinks it to win by 3 shots at -20, his first major championship win. Mickelson finishes in second at 17 under. J.B. Holmes shoots a final round of 69 for a distant third place. Tyler Eulis told his Summer League coach he wanted the ball with 1.8 seconds to play in the Sun Summer League season on the line. Eulis got his wish, and most of you know what happened next. Following a would-be game winner by the Denver Nuggets' Jamal Murray, the Suns had Eulis inbound the ball at half court. The pass came back to Eulis, and he let it go as time expired. Nothing but nylon. The game winner, keeping the Suns alive in the Vegas Summer League playoffs, just like Eulis had drew it up in his head.
He drew it up for Dragon. I told him I wanted the ball. Troy told me to stay confident, stay positive, because we were really upset after the layup Jamal got, and Al came to me like, if he's not open, throw it to me, I'll pitch it back. That's exactly what he did.
He never quits. He wants the ball in crunch time. Defensively, he is so aggressive and in tune in everything that he does, and he just continues to prove himself out here in Vegas.
Eulis and the Suns are back on the court as we speak, taking on the Timberwolves in the semifinals. Suns have a 38-25 lead in the second quarter. Kentucky football fans finished last season with a bad taste in their mouths, losing to rival Louisville and losing a chance at a bowl bid. The final game of the season weighed even heavier on the team. After building a 21-point lead, Louisville made the necessary plays to win, and UK wasn't able to finish. Mark Stoops wants to put that game in the past, but also wants his players to not forget that feeling.
If we want to use that as motivation, we should. Because you talk about finishing the season, and there's no better example than the last game of the year when you're up 21 points and can't finish it out. That's a situation that we've got to get fixed.
It was the little mistakes that was hindering us from winning those close games that we had before to actually get over that hump. So guys are just doing all the little things. A lot more guys are mature, just basically just doing everything we need to do to put our team in a position to win.
In 48 days, UK will kick off its season, and we are counting down on WKYT.com. Here's what UK fans should know about 48. Tim Couch attempted 48 passes in the Outback Bowl in 1999. Fran Kersey's UK teams won a total of 48 games, and Maxwell Smith hit Jonathan George with a 48-yard scoring pass in a win over Miami of Ohio in 2013. That was Mark Stoops' first victory at UK. You can find some more fun facts about the number 48 by visiting WKYT.com. Kentucky track and field freshman Jasmine Camacho Quinn will represent Puerto Rico at the Rio Olympics next month. Well, last night, Camacho Quinn took first place in the 100-meter hurdles in a meet record 12.78 seconds at the NACAC Championships in El Salvador. I know this is not the best video here, but you can see her out in front in lane 4, and Camacho Quinn, she also won an SEC championship back in May and the NCAA championship in June. Big win there for her.
We'll be right back with a final look at weather. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million. And Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $361 million. It's very warm out there today.
And the heat index might be about 95 as we go into tomorrow. Maybe again later on this week, because look at that heat that builds in. Not just a 91 high. How about 92, 93 degrees? And that will be loaded with humidity. Storms tomorrow, too.
Hope you'll join us right back here at 11 o'clock tonight.